because we were
Please
talking
do.
about Halloween 2 last
Oh,
episode.
yes. So you watched it.
I
What'd you
watched
think?
Halloween 2, the televised version, and just a few, I thought it was great. They kept it in the same aspect ratio,
Hmm.
so it did feel like you're watching TV, which I thought was really cool. Some people that might bother, like, oh, the black lines, but no, it's fit for TV in 1981 or whenever it came to TV, and it felt like it. And you're right, Robert. Two quick takeaways. One is there are parts where Dr. Loomis says things that he did in the original, or it's like a
Hmm.
different take, and you're
Yep.
like, oh, that is different. And the ending when Laurie gets into the ambulance, I mean, spoiler alert, but I'm sure if you care about this movie, you've seen it. Or if you want to watch it for yourself, watch it.
Hmm.
But the guy gets, what's the guy's name? Chris?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Jimmy just goes up like with the mat, with the sheet on.
Yeah.
You're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It's like, what?
And then she's like, oh, hey, we made it.
You
And
made it.
you made it. And I get why they cut that. I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah.
cute and a little bit one extra jump scare maybe, but it was as opposed to the theatrical version where they just cut with
She
Mr.
she's just
Sandman and
she's just kind of looking at, going in the
yeah,
ambulance and then
and they
uh,
drive away and um but what do you think about that ending? I'd never seen that. It was the first time.
um yeah, so now it's a little, and I think Brian sent me after we had our 27,000 step Halloween tour. I think he sent me that meme. It was like, we made it. It's like,
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh, that's cool.
so it was a nice thing for Laurie Strode, since Ben Tramer got killed, and she's like, well, I guess I have Jimmy. And poor Jimmy, I don't even know if he has any memory, or like
Yeah.
he hit his head pretty hard.
He
Um,
was bleeding.
yeah, he was bleeding, and then he was unconscious for whatever, so he probably has no idea who she is. Um,
Yeah, I
but
know.
um, but yeah,
Good call.
it is kind of a strange. I think what they were going for is like final jump scare, but they don't really present it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Right.
kind of a silent, kind of sits up.
It was
Um,
halfway in, halfway out of a jump
yeah,
scare.
but maybe they should have done H2O where she just he sits up and she stabs him, and she's like, "Oh, it's the paramedic. It's
It's
Jimmy. She killed Jimmy again."
it ties into
Yeah.
Friday the 13th part 5. It's a paramedic,
God, I haven't even thought about that.
you know.
I think in Halloween Resurrection it should have been Jimmy Carruthers, where she's like,
Why not?
and she's like, shoot.
Shoot,
That's why she's so mad. She's like,
Jimmy.
I keep killing these boyfriends. Is
Jimmy.
it me?
That's
Um,
actually a missed opportunity.
it
Maybe it'll
is. I
show
feel
up
like
sometime.
if somebody can redo that video where they take off the mask and it's poor Lance Guest going like, I was
Yes.
just I
Can you
was
please
just
put that
reconnecting
together?
with Laurie Strode. That would be fantastic. Then it would have made it worth it, And Rick Rosenthal directed Halloween 2 and Halloween Resurrection, so I think he could have made it happen. Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. It could have, yeah, it could have been done. It's a missed
Yeah.
opportunity, but I did enjoy the televised version. I thought it was pretty cool.
Hmm.
And
Julie's full of sugar.
Julie's full of sugar. It is funny when they do that. They edit it out for um, foul language and
Yeah.
brevity and whatnot. It's just like it's hilarious. Um, but yeah, it was good. And the only thing I would say about Halloween 2, the televised version, is they obviously they keep in a lot of the same scenes, most of them, of course. But I always love the doctor upon Laurie Strode's intake. She just
Hmm.
went through this horrific night, shot somebody, was almost killed, or was almost killed, saw somebody get shot, yada yada yada. And the doctor asks, "When was the last time you had a tetanus shot?" And it's like, what's
I
the?
don't know.
She didn't cut her toe.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good question to
it
ask, but I
is.
don't
Yeah.
know. But I
And they're
love
like,
it.
let's
And
cut her clothes off. Yeah, like,
let's
all
get our
right.
clothes off. That movie, I feel like deserves more credit because John Carpenter, did he write the script of that?
Apparently he wrote it drunk.
Okay.
And that's where he does talk about he was out of ideas, and that's why he made them brothers and sister and stuff like that. So I
Okay.
think he started off well intended, and then he just kind of, not that he didn't completely care, but it's just like, this, they're going to do it with or without me. I'll do the best I can, but he still knew he knew the movie was done. So
Okay. Well, we can pick apart certain aspects of the script. Certainly, I'm sure he would do a lot differently. But I got to give him a lot of credit for that setting. I mean, we're kind of numb to it, you and I, because we've seen the movie so much. But I mean, if you're like when I first saw it, you got to think about the scenario. You're in a hospital, which is creepy already. It's kind of abandoned, like
Hmm.
it's minimal staff. It's dark, like a dark hospital. You're drugged up, and there's a killer in there trying to get you. Like I can't think of a scarier setting, maybe like a dungeon or a prison or something, but it's just such a cool departure from one, which is scary and
Yeah.
Halloween night and the house. What could you do? The hospital. Like it's brilliant. I think it's such a great sequel.
Well, they did have Dean Cundey come back, so and I think that helped
Oh
one
yeah, I love
bridge
him.
both, and then obviously he can. What the luck he got him back because it wasn't too soon. He was doing moving on to kind of bigger and better
Yeah.
stuff, but that certainly helped. I remember reading in Fangoria. The one of the original concepts they were going for Halloween 2 was to have it take place in real time 3 years later, and Laurie Strode would be living in a high rise. And so I liked that aspect
Oh,
because that
yeah.
I think they would have hit some of the same beats, of powers
Yes.
out and stuff like that, and hallways and stuff like that. But I thought that would have been good. So
That would have been good. Very Exorcist 3 or Poltergeist 3.
yes,
Carol Ann
in a good way though.
in a good way. Yeah, no, that is a good idea.
And they
Uh
just keep saying Laurie Strode, Laurie
Laurie
Strode,
Strode.
Laurie Strode.